Hi, my name is Kate, and if you like the stories I tell, you can subscribe to me. What I'm going to talk about today is what happened to me 5 years ago, when I had just graduated and got a job as a bartender. The bar was full of people every day, and I repeatedly mixed a few drinks on the menu, and to be honest, it was pretty dull. So in my spare time, I will find myself some fun, like watching a few romance films. Whenever I see a movie in which the heroine and the hero go through a lot of difficulties and finally get it right, I would shed tears for them. I thought love was so beautiful, so I often fantasized a man who belonged to me, and wondered in what kind of way would he appear in front of me. What would we have to go through in order to finally make it right? The day went by and I came to work at the bar as usual, and while I was busy working, I spotted a new customer. He came up to the bar and ordered a drink from me, and that's when I got a good look at him. He was very handsome, especially the eyes. Not one, not three, but exactly 2 eyes. He exuded an aura of charm all over him. Isn't this the Mr. Right that I often fantasize about? When I thought about it, my heart started to pound, so much so that I made a mess while mixing the drinks. But he didn't blame me, but told me that the wine I made was great, and I blushed immediately, and I thought he might be the one. In the days that followed, I would dress up every day and came to work early at the bar, just to wait for him to show up. And as soon as he did, my boring life became beautiful. He still ordered the same drink, and I no longer looked flustered. We got to know each other, and I gave him my number. When there were not many customers in the store, he would sit at the bar and chat with me. And after I finished work, he would send me home, which was really sweet. On weekends, he would also ask me to go bowling with him. Although I was not very good at bowling, I felt very happy as long as I could spend time with him. While I was still thinking about how I could go further with him, he confessed his love to me. I think no girl will be able to resist his handsome appearance and sweet talk, not to mention that I liked him already. I didn't go home that night but to his house instead. His house is very luxurious, but I didn't even have time to appreciate his excellent decoration taste, since I only had eyes for him at that moment. The minute we went into his bedroom, we hugged and kissed passionately. And I don't think you would be interested in what happened after that, so I will just skip it. While I was still immersed in the joy of love, reality hit me hard in the face. Since that night, he never came to the bar again. To make matters worse, he didn't even reply to the messages I sent. I was worried if something had happened to him, so I came to his house after work. You know what? I saw him walking upstairs with a long-haired girl, and I was shaking with anger. I wanted to rush up and ask what was going on, but my feet wouldn't listen to me and I stood still. I couldn't believe that the man who confessed his love to me was actually a playboy. I finally walked home wobbly, after which I just sat in the living room all night, wondering if I should go to him, ask him what happened, and then scold him as harsh as I could, or just wait for him to take the initiative to come to me and tell me what on earth was going on. The only thing that I knew for sure was that my feelings were being toyed with. Early in the morning, I finally decided to go to him to give me an explanation. I stood in front of his house and knocked on his door with all my strength. I was afraid to open the door to a naked woman, but I knew I had to face it all. The door opened, and to my surprise, it was opened by a strange man. But I didn't pay any attention to this guy, and just walked furiously towards his bedroom. When I opened the door, I was stunned that the long-haired girl sitting on the bed was actually my boyfriend. I could tell from his face that he was no less shocked than I was. We came out into the living room, and he explained everything to me. It turned out that this man was his boyfriend, and they had been together for 2 years. A while ago they had a huge fight, so they broke up. He was so sad that he went to a bar to get drunk, and did not expect to meet me, who he thought was very cute. After some time, he was also confused whether he fell in love with me, or was just afraid of the loneliness back at home and sought comfort from me. Anyway, he asked me to be his girlfriend. However, just the day after we got together, his ex-boyfriend came back to him and confessed his mistake, hoping he would give him another chance. He was soft-hearted as ever and agreed. After they got back together, he didn't know how to tell me. Not daring to face me, he stopped coming over to the bar and didn't return the messages I sent. Hearing this, I felt like my jaw fell on the floor. I had came up with a million of possibilities, like the girl that day might just be his sister, or a new girl he met, but I never thought that it would be himself. And I never thought it would be another man who stole him from me. My mind just went blank. He kept apologizing to me, saying he was willing to compensate me with anything, and the two of them even knelt down and hugged my thighs tightly, asking me to forgive them. They bursted into tears, saying they were truly in love with each other. At that moment, I felt like it was me who was cheating on him. My mind just stopped functioning again. I couldn't help but to forgive them. He was so relieved that he told me his boyfriend proposed to him last night. Actually, they were getting married the next month and wanted me to be his bridesmaid. I managed to think for a while with my blank mind and felt it wasn't appropriate, so I turned him down and wished them a happy wedding. And finally I just turned around and left. For the following several months, my head was still blank, and I still couldn't believe that my rosy dream turned out to be such a joke. But eventually I got out of this outrageous relationship and started my new life. I quit my job at the bar and decided to go on a vacation with my savings. During the trip, I met my current husband, who is very good to me, and we rarely had any fight in all the years we've been married. There is only one thing that makes me curious. He goes to a party with his brother every week, but he never takes me. He told me that female companions are not allowed at this party, and there are no strippers or anything. It's just a bunch of men drinking and bragging, so I can be rest assured. Yeah, what do I have to worry about? I think there's still something I should ask him about.